Welcome back to the Tapes Archive podcast, where we release interviews that have never been heard before. In this episode, we have the Red Rocker himself, Sammy Hagar. At the time of this interview in 1991, Hagar was 44 years old and was promoting Van Halen's upcoming concert at Deer Creek Music Center. In the interview, Hagar talks about his experience with UFOs, the secret to Van Halen, his father's death, and his advice for Axl Rose. As always, we have music critic Mark Allen at the helm conducting the interview. Thanks for tuning in, and now it's time to open the vault.
I'm good. I'm eating pretzels, but I'll stop now.
Oh, well, continue eating pretzels. That's okay.
No, you'll probably get half the stuff I say wrong to begin with.
I will?
No, I'm joking.
Sammy, we got it all on tape, Sammy. We don't mess around with these quotes. We don't sit here and type and do that kind of crap. Here's what I want to know. I want to know, when are you going to dive off the stage looking for a camera, criticize the security force, and storm off in a tizzy?
Oh, probably when my first album, sells 4 or 5 million records. I don't know. I think Nugent had it right. Nugent said right.
No, what was that?
Well, he said if he was that ugly, you wouldn't want anybody taking a picture of him. I don't know. I got nothing to say about it. Everybody's got their own trip. The music should be all you really worry about.
Well, it just seems like you guys are certainly on the same level of success, if not greater than those guys. And they don't seem to have any idea how to enjoy it. And you guys always seem to be enjoying yourself.
I think that's the whole thing. It's like you got to enjoy yourself first and what you're doing, and then just everything around you just kind of falls into place. But if you're miserable in any situation. I don't care how much money you have. If you're miserable, you're miserable. So maybe that's it. I don't know. I could rag on them all day because it does just kind of make me sick. Because the fans are the ones that end up getting burned. They're still going to make their money. The shows was over and it's done. And they walk away, and the fans are the ones that get burned because then somebody else comes to town in that market. The security's going to be all pissed off. They're going to be uptight, and the fans are going to suffer. They're going to make them hold them back, more. It's just not going to be as much fun for the next 2 or 3 months for other bands to come through because Guns went out there and fucked up. And that's the only part that pisses me off. Other than that, I don't give a shit what those guys or anybody else does.
Okay, there was all this talk for a while that rock was dead, that the charts were dominated by all these dance divas and rap acts, and I guess that really occurred most heavily while you were probably putting the finishing touches on the new album.
Yeah.
Were you hearing all that talk, and were you anticipating blowing all that other stuff off the charts when the album came out?
Man. I was looking so forward to it. It's like there were times where we'd sit back, hearing what we were doing, knowing that in our hearts that it was great. And that's not an ego rap, that's like honest. We were real proud of this shit. And we were just going, sit there and watch MTV and all that stuff, and you're going, boy, can't wait to blast them fuckers out with this shit. I mean, it really was. It was almost like we were out loading our guns up, getting our ammunition ready so that we could just hit them. But, our fans have always been so true for us. It's like we don't have to release singles. We don't have to do anything. And not because we're so goddamn great. It's because our fans are so great that we know that they're going to be there. So they trust us completely. We don't have to have a hit single or cop out and make some dance music that crosses over into clubs or something in order to hook people into buying our records.
Yeah, or obviously even rush into making a record. You certainly didn't have to rush to make this.
But that was for our fans. That wasn't for our leisure. And that's why our fans are there, I guess, because they know they can trust us, that we're going to go in and we're going to do a great show. If we're going to come out on stage and sell them a ticket, they're going to get their money's worth and more. If we make a record, they're going to get their money's worth and more. And it's not going to be just 2 or 3 hit songs on it and then the rest a bunch of bullshit. So it's really our fans that have put us in this position. And we just knew they'd be there. When we released this record, it was like, fuck yeah, they're going to be there. We've never ripped them off, and we ain't going to, so they're going to be there. And so all these this bullshit that's been out there, a lot of it, we were just really, the old army was going to come to the rescue. The infantry was going to come in and put the album, debuted at number 1, whatever.
Yeah. Now, was this stuff also playing on your mind when you were writing the songs?
Fuck, no.
No?
We don't plan anything for that.
Huh.
That's the secret to Van Halen is we just go in and do. But what we do is taken very seriously. Not to the point where we overwork it, but seriously to the point to where we know that if it's not good, out. And we just go in there and please ourselves. It's like really self-indulgent in a way, but with a little bit of a higher, I don't know, it's hard to explain, a little bit of a higher consciousness, so, of, hey, this isn't good enough. We're just not going to go take a big piss and say, here you go, drink this. We're going to really make sure it's a good piss.
Oh, getting these quotes in the paper is going to be fun.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant when I first talked. I said, half the shit I said ain't going to be right anyway, so I might as well be eating fucking goldfish or pretzels,
Oh, I thought maybe that was what Man on a Mission might be about, that you were, you felt on a mission to blow out all these other bands.
No, there's actually, believe it or not, now you can get some stuff you can play. Lyrically, there is a concept to this album. Even the cheesy songs, which people could say, oh, that's just about pussy. Oh, no, way, you can't put that. But like a song like Pound Cake, where, people may think it's just a sexual thing, it is tied into a concept. And whether someone agrees with it or not or whatever, but the dream is over is basically the concept about, and it's not a negative, it's like the dream is over, but dream another dream. There's just stop believing in this old time crap, and there's changes have to be made and so forth, and Judgment Day is basically what I'm talking about. That is my attitude. I think that's the attitude of a lot of people in the world today. Everyone's putting it off. Everyone's just going for what they can do. Oh, what's in it for me? And all that consciousness has just got to change, and it's time to wake up. So a song like Man on a Mission is about once you know what you want, and I'm talking sexually, like Pound Cake. It's like I'm more attracted to a down-home, homegrown woman than I am to some designer stuff. And to me, it's more beautiful to see things kind of in the natch. I want to know what I'm eating. What I mean? Like Pound Cake is what I'm saying is like a simple, you know what you got. And so that's the parallel there. And that Man on a Mission is basically once you see it, the Pound Cake, and you know it, and once you know what you want, then you're a man on a mission. Then you got a mission. You can go get it. Boom. Done. Nothing can distract you. If you don't know what you want, then you're not a man on a mission. You're a lost dog. You're out there looking, oh, maybe I want that. Oh, maybe I want that. Oh, maybe I should try this. Maybe I should try that. And that's the way I see people on the planet. That's the way I see everything. Priorities are all screwed up. And so basically that's what the album is about. Even Spankline, it's about that. Censorship. People trying to keep a record off the market that says fuck in it, putting a sticker on it, but yet you can sit home with your family and be watching a family TV show, ESPN Sports, whatever, and bang, call up this number, and this lady will tell you what you want to know, and give you what you want right over the phone. And to me, that blows my mind. And so that's really, it's wake up. Come on, people. It's like, I want to start running around the street, grabbing people by the neck and shaking them and say, wake up, you son of a bitch, It's like... Okay,
but what the dream that you're talking about, the dream that's over, which dream are we talking about here?
I'm talking about kind of the American dream. Mm-hmm. All the promises, they've all been raped. You can't trust a lot of people. And I'm not anti-American. I'm very pro-American.
Right.
This is a very pro-American statement. I'm saying the jive bullshit that we've been fed, that, hey, you can go out, if you just go to school, get a good education, and if you do everything this way and that way, you can have this bullshit. People have got around it completely now. The stock market thing, all this crap. Oh, that's success. In order to be a good American, you have to be successful. You have to own your house, and you have to have a couple cars in the garage, and dress nice, and be a yuppie family, and then you're okay. Bullshit. Those people are just as bad as the crack dealers in the street sometimes, because they're the reason that the real estate prices go up and so forth, and the developers and all these guys that come. I live at the beach here, right? It's a wonderful life. Everything's great. Some asshole's trying to build a house on my beach, right dead in front of my house, on the beach, where people come and lay. Not one house, 17 houses across this beach. And the point is, okay, I live in a wonderful neighborhood, and all rich people live here, and it's a wonderful life, and this guy's starving in the streets. Fine. But those people that are starving in the streets are allowed to walk down and lay on my beach and enjoy it. But this asshole's trying to put up houses there and make $17 million profit, and no one can lay on the beach. And my kid has to sit here and look at the house. All right, it's a tough life. Great. But it's bullshit. It's bad for the environment, too. The guy's going to be flushing his sewage into the ocean, and there's no beach there then. And to me, that's wake up. The dream is over, man. People have abused it, they've raped it, and they're raping the country, and so, okay, it's over.
Okay, so you're telling people that, well, what are you telling them to do then? Or what do you suggest they do?
just kind of wake up to the environment and don't get sucked in by the whole thing and take out your trash and recycle your trash or whatever. I haven't come up with all the answers. I'm just kind of painting the picture. Because
you just want people to ask the questions?
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't believe rock has an artist, whether you're a painter, a poet, or anything. I don't believe that you should sit there and say, this is the way to go, do this and do that. There's way too much responsibility to that. I wouldn't want to be in that position because I'm not sure I'm right all the time. But what you can do is what the artist's job is, I think, is to paint the picture. Just say, here's the way I see it. Is there any truth to this? Can you relate? Can you help me? Can you tell me where what I'm seeing is wrong? And you know what I'm saying? It's like, I think we're just tell the world, whether it's be radio, through MTV, what you see, because maybe some of these people are just doing it and they don't see it. So we're fortunate enough to be able to have time to step back a lot of times, live a kind of a eccentric, weird life, and sometimes you get little glimpses of things that maybe you can't see if you're not there. And I think that's the artist's job, and that's all we're responsible for, not changing the world, but kind of painting it as we see it. And then therefore, those that are intelligent enough and have the insight and the answers to make the changes, maybe they'll see it through what we see and therefore make the changes, because we can't go out there and make changes. It's stupid. It'd be like revolutions and shit. I'm not looking for no revolution. I just want to wake people up a little bit to a little bit higher consciousness about this stuff. And that's about as far as it is. Other than that, I just want to have some fun and have people have fun to the music. That's why there's all these double meanings to Pound Cake, and that's why I intentionally try to put a little humor in it as well. Otherwise, and then it's no fun. Then it becomes this real serious, then I'm Joan Baez all of a sudden, And for Christ's sakes, I don't want to do that either. That's depressing. You don't want to depress the people. You want to wake them up, make them smile, and say, shit, man, I'm happy now. So anyway, that's about serious as it goes. But there is an asshole trying to build a house on my beach.
That's, whereabouts can you tell me where you live, or roughly where you live?
It's just on the L.A. coast.
Right on the beach? I mean, right where the waves roll up to the...
Yeah, on big stilts, so that the guy's got to get a boat half the time to get out of his pad. I mean, these guys, they'll build a house anywhere to make a buck. It blows my mind. I'm thinking, well, why don't you, I'll let you do it on my front lawn. But please, don't take the beach away from me and my kids and the people from the valley that drive over here. Thank God there's a beach down there. I mean, they'll just... It's like the oil rigs that got to be out there in the middle of the ocean. Come on. There's plenty of oil. Go drill it somewhere else.
Well, who owns the beach?
Well, some guy owns it.
Really? I didn't know anybody could own the beach.
Well,
that's kind of, I guess in California.
Well, here's the deal. Exactly. There used to be a road there, and it got washed out about 5 times. So the road's gone. So now it's this beach. But I guess someone owns it. It's hard to explain. That's why the government, the Coastal Commissioner, he's trying to fight them. He's trying to fight the Coastal Commissioner, saying you can't put houses here. For Christ's sake, it's dangerous. And there's a beach here. People should be able to live on this beach. But Buses Beach, it's a private beach, but it's open to the public. But it's privately owned for some reason. It's 2-mile stretch. And some asshole he's fighting it and fighting it and fighting it. He spent millions of dollars trying to develop it, because it's worth so much money. To have a house right on the beach, of course, everyone say wonderful, but they don't realize how stupid it would be. The guy's going to end up being sued. But that's what I'm saying. It's Judgment Day. He knows he's wrong, and he knows he's doing everything bad for not only the environment, but for the people that are going to buy the houses. They'll sell the houses for $3 or $4 million, and they'll be ripped off to the bone because their house will be in the ocean about every 4 years. So, because there's a big, when they have high tide, it comes right up to my gate. I'm sorry, it's like anything in front of my gate, it's going to get washed away.
Yeah, it sounds dangerous. Who would want to buy a house like that?
But everyone's putting it off till Judgment Day. It's the whole thing. Everyone's taking chances. It's a piss poor way to do things, but it's because everyone's desperate, or else they're greedy. One or the other. You're either desperate. The crack dealers are desperate. The kids in the street that are robbing stores, they're going, well, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but hey, I got to survive, and I got to take my chances. So you go and you blow somebody away, and you get caught, and you go, hey, fuck, well, I got caught, but it's all I had. And these guys are going, hey, I'm greedy, man. I need another $5 million because my rent's due, because my house, I spent $12 million on my house, and I can't, I couldn't afford it, and I got to pay for this and pay for that, and so I got to build these houses. I need $7 million quick. It's the consciousness, I'm pissed off. I'm going to go on stage and do a hell of a show and have so goddamn much fun. It's like my only relief, like comic relief, is to go on stage and kick kick it out and act like everything's wonderful.
Are your neighbors fighting this as well?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
the whole
that's
goddamn neighborhood's up and on. The Coastal Commission is fighting it. I mean, these guys, he's a real big-time developer. He's got a lot of political clout. He looks like he might be going to get it done. I mean, I don't know, you know?
Man, maybe you should put on a concert right next to his house or something like that.
Hey, if there's any houses out front, we'll be putting on concerts on the beach constantly while they're out there trying to work. We'll go down and play for free for the construction workers, man, and they're telling, hey, bring your family down. Shit, we'll play for you guys, you know? And nothing will get done.
All right, I wanted to ask you a few Van Halen-related things.
Oh, yeah.
When did you know, was there a specific instance that you knew that the fans accepted you as the front man of Van Halen?
Yeah, the first show.
Really?
Yeah.
So from the first time, I mean, there was never any feeling like, they missed David Lee Roth or anything like that?
Well, I don't know if they did or not, but they didn't show it, and they showed nothing but respect and warmth for me. I mean, we walked down on stage in Shreveport, Louisiana, and there's a town I had never headlined solo artist. There's maybe 5 towns in America I never headlined as a solo artist because of lack of business or lack of record sales. We said we don't want to chance it, right?
Okay.
So we started the 5150 tour in Shreveport, and I said, oh, this is wonderful, you know. I was really nervous. It was sold out, first hour, whatever. And we walked down on stage, and there were probably 50 banners in the audience that said, Van Hagar, the Red Rocker, Van Halen, we love you, or, you know, Dave sucks. You know, it was so unbelievable. And we walked down on stage, and they fucking busted the barricade down. And I just said, well, shit, let's go, you know? And I'm a pretty confident human being anyway. I'm not like a real insecure kind of guy. So I walked down on stage a little shy.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful. I haven't had one single bad incident. And then the next thing that kind of told me what was happening was when 5150, the third week, went to number 1. And Van Halen had never had a number 1 record. They had number 2 record.
Yeah.
But 1984 was a very big record for them, so coming off a record that big and so forth. And that was it. You know, the only people that ever complained about it were just some critics, to be honest with you. You know, every now and then, about 30-40% of them would come to the show and say, you know, they'd bring up, oh, you know, well, Sammy was like this, but, you know, Dave did this. You know, they would try to compare us. And I don't think the fans were really trying to compare us. I think they saw it was just different. It was new. The fans that liked Dave, they split. I don't believe they were there. You know, I had my own fans. I was selling out Coliseums myself, and then Van Halen selling out Coliseums. You had those two together. I just thought as far as I'm concerned, we just had twice the people, or at least the amount of people that left that were disappointed with me in the band. I think my fans kind of filled a bigger hole than they left, and I'm sure some of my fans were disappointed. I got fan letters that disappointed for me joining the band too. You know, and now, I mean, obviously, seeing what's happened with Dave, I think it's obvious.
Yeah, he needs you more than you need him. So.
Well, we don't need him.
No, I know you don't need him. Well,
but you know, the point is that I think it's a kind of cut and dried now. I think the truth of the matter has just surfaced. I mean, we've had 3 number 1 albums in a row, and I think it's just an old issue now. I don't think it's there anymore. 10 more years from now, maybe they should do a reunion. I don't know. But right now, I think if I split and Dave came back, my gut feeling is it would hurt the band. First of all, the band would never do it. If I left this band, Dave would not be the guy that came in. There's not a happy mutual thing going on there. So, and second of all, these guys would have to cut my neck and throw me out of the band.
Right.
So it's not. That isn't even an issue.
Okay. Well, then we leave it alone.
Yeah, it's really going good within the band. We kind of have more than a band going with us. We are actually friends. And from the day I first walked into this situation and played with these guys, we all just kind of smiled and warmed up. It was like, hey, this is fucking great. We're the same kind of people. We get along. We talk about music. Old albums, an old Led Zeppelin tune, an old Cream tune, and it's always the same song that we all love. And it's unbelievable. You know, Eddie lives right next door to me. It's his beach as well. It's the same thing. We're friends. You know, you don't live next door to somebody you hate. It's a real special situation, and outside people don't even know, because you hear the music, and if you're really sensitive, maybe you can hear that there is a marriage there. Some people just take it as, oh, it's a great band, everything's good. But it goes so far beyond that. you can't even imagine how close we are as people.
There's a reference book I use, the Encyclopedia of Pop, Rock, and Soul, and it has a long and interesting entry on you. And it starts out by saying, there are more than a few contradictions between the public and private faces of Sammy Hagar. On stage, thrashing out red-hot licks while he screams out raw-edged rock lyrics and makes no holds-barred comments between numbers, he seems the personification of the cruisin' and boozin' blue-collar town he grew up in. Off stage, he is typically relaxed and reflective, enjoying detailed discussions of favorite topics such as astronomy and the reality or non-reality of UFOs. Is that you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
God damn. Who was this asshole that nailed me? I'll kill him. No, really, someone wrote that, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'd pretty much say that's about as accurate as I can think of myself. I'm not a real, kind of person that sits around and thinks a lot about myself. But God, when you was reading that, I'm going, if you wouldn't have said my name, I would have said, shit, that sounds like me. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, all right. So, are there UFOs or not?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yes. My latest book I'm reading now is called Watchers. And it's kind of the latest details of some people. Betty Anderson's case. It's scary. I wrote a song called Someone Out There. It's scary to me to think that we're the only people in this whole big universe. If you know anything about astronomy, space, and time, how big everything is, how minute this planet is, and how unsophisticated our sun and so forth and our little solar system is, to think that we are the only ones, that scares the shit out of me. You know what I mean? That means there's no God or nothing. So I'd rather believe in God and hope that we're not just out here on our own, because if that's the case, then fuck it. I might as well have a real good time, man. If there's no dues to pay, if there's no judgment day, shit, I'll join the family,
Of course, the line that everybody always says is, well, how come UFOs always land in, a farmer with a 32 IQ's backyard? How come they never land in the middle of Manhattan?
Well, they do. There's a classic case, John Leonard, of all people, one of the people that saw it in 1967 or something like that. 7 UFOs that were spotted right downtown New York up in the air. They were doing all these acrobatics and shit. Then they just disappeared, and there was like 50 people in one group on one street corner where all questioned about it or something. And it's documented in Project Blue Book. You can look it up, the Hynek book. And there's been many cases in a lot of cities, but for one thing, in a city where people are crazed and busy and shit, a lot of things happen you don't see. And the skies are pretty funky, too. But it's like out in a farm where it's a lot less, these guys don't want to have some cat come out and blow their brains out and shit. You don't have the police come chasing them or whatever. I mean, these guys, they're probably there's 3 different kinds, I think. I mean, I don't have all the answers, but I believe there's 3 different kinds. One is a manifestation of your brain. You'll look up and you'll see something only because your brain just projects it, almost like a hologram. It's almost like your brain's a projector. All of a sudden, it's usually taking things in, but your eyes can also... There's imaginary ones, okay? Mm-hmm. But they are real to some people. Then there are robots that some people like us in the space shuttle with computers and so forth. And some people, I think they actually have robots that have functions, R2-D2 kind of characters, only, that's a little bit far-fetched, but scientific machinery that can, like computers that come down and make all these tests, they get Earth samples, just like we go to the moon and get a scoop of Earth, Mm-hmm. They come down here and they cut somebody's goddamn dick off, and they want to look at it, take it up and see what's going on, And then there are real creatures like us, but other type creatures. I don't know, they could be ants, they could be anything, depending upon the environment. They come from other dimensions, not our planets in our solar system, other worlds, and they come down here, and they are real curious little creatures, and they are much more sophisticated in order to be able to come here. And they visit people, and they experiment. They grab guys like me, and they just with a, instant little thing, boom, your memory goes, you lose time, and until you're hypnotized, you don't even know what happened. It might have happened to you. It's happened to me before.
It has?
Oh, yes, it has.
Okay, what happened?
I don't know exactly, but it happened.
Do you know when it happened?
Yeah, in 1967.
1967, okay.
Yeah. And it was like a computer situation I was kind of plugged into, and it was like either feeding me information, as if you took a computer and you transfer something from one disk to another.
So tell me, where are you and what...
I'm in my house in Fontana, California.
Okay.
And I'm asleep in the middle of the night. and all of a sudden, I almost felt like there was this cord in me, in my head, and it went up on this mountaintop behind where I live. It was like an electrical connection. I'm calling it a cord. Nothing makes sense. It was in dream state. It's like, what the fuck? Wait a minute. You know what I mean? It's like trying to explain it. You're going, well, it was like a cord was coming out of me. I was plugged into, okay, and it was connected to these 3 creatures, which I can't even explain what they look like, but when I sort of think it, you can just sort of see them as almost like just a glowing being. It's like in E.T. of all things. No, I'm Prelude to the Landing. No, goddamn it. The movie Hynek was in Close Encounters. Almost creatures that kind of glowed like that, okay? And they said, in their own way, there was no speaking. They were far away. They were a mile away. They're going, he's waking up. And they yelled out a numerical system, like a code. That was my code. None of the numbers were in from our numerical system. I can't even tell you what they were, but they were numbers. And all of a sudden, boom, it just went zap. And I opened my eyes. My room was completely white. It was just light as if the brightest light in the world was in there. I couldn't move my arms or anything. Just my eyes were open. And then, bang, my eyes closed. I went back to sleep. Woke up the next day, remembered the whole thing, and there it was. It was not a dream. You know what I mean?
Did you report it?
Hell no. To my wife.
Your wife just slept through this whole thing?
Yeah, totally.
Wow. Okay.
So, but I've read, ever since then, I have had this intense curiosity about astronomy and everything. I mean, I would go into a bookstore and I'd pick up a book and I would open up a chapter about UFOs and bang, somebody had the same type of experience. Exactly. I mean, like, I'm going, shit, this is me talking. So, just things like that. It set me on a mission, and for a long time, and now I'm kind of over it, because I take it for granted. It didn't scare me. I wasn't scared. I'm not scared at all. I sit up nights, I go out and stay up all night wishing that I could see one, that it would happen, that they'd come and get me and explain everything to me. You know, I mean, I'm like out there making myself available to them. And then another time in the middle of the night, the creature was outside my window, and I was meditating, and I was meditating, trying to make contact in my head. I mean, I do this, that people think, you may think I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. And I go, oh, wait a minute, I am crazy. But I looked, and then all of a sudden, it was there out my window, and I was afraid to look. The first time I got scared, and I wouldn't roll over and look. And I could see the same thing. It was like my room was kind of glowing, a tinge, you know.
Okay. So the first thing that happened was in 1967?
Yeah.
So you were like 19?
I'm 43. I was probably 20. I just got married.
Just got married. Okay. Wow. Okay.
I've been married since the same person.
That's amazing, huh?
Yeah, that's great.
So
I'm not totally crazy.
No, but I mean, that's pretty incredible, given your line of work, to have been married for 24 years or something like that. That's incredible. A couple other things, I'll let you go. I wanted to ask you about one other thing in this entry in this encyclopedia, and the way it describes your life. I mean, you've faced a childhood that not a lot of people would seem to envy, and I'm wondering if that makes you more conservative. Like, are you the kind of person who thinks that people should pick themselves up by their bootstraps, or does it make you more sympathetic to people?
Both. It's really crazy because I'm so adamant that each man take care of himself, but everyone needs compassion or a reason or something to get them to do it. I think the whole key to taking a person is from that's down and out and getting them out of that is hope. You give them hope somehow, whether it depends on what they need. If it's a person that's down and out because they've been mistreated by mankind and because they've been fucked over by their loved ones and everything, then you got to show them love and prove that it's worthy. If it's a person that's been just down and out because it's a racist thing and so forth, you have to give them hope that there's going to be a change, that there's light at the end of the telephone. Without that, there's nothing. And that's where the belief in God comes in. And I'm not religious at all. I'm not a Christian, none of these things. But you have to believe in something. And that's the importance of it. Whether or not it's even true, I'd rather think that maybe, even if it wasn't true, then I may become like the Pope. And who knows? He may know something we don't know, but maybe he's just saying, look, mankind needs this. And then you give them all that, and then they'll grab themselves up and lift themselves up by their bootstraps and go out and start doing it. But without some kind of hope, some kind of compassion from another man, they won't have it. And I'm so sympathetic to people that are down, because I have been down. Father died in a park. as an alcoholic at 56 years old, and bum, a derelict in the streets, my father, you know, and he never got to see what I've done, or he never got to see me as a man, and I'm real sympathetic to anybody that's down. I can't take it, man. It's like I got too soft of a heart for it, but at the same time, you can't just give to people. Like if a guy's a drug addict, and he's hurting, he needs a fix, so you give him money and let him go get again? No. You give him help, and you give him insight, and you give him inspiration, and you give him some love or something. But you don't just hand people money, and you don't just take care of people, because then they'll want you to take care of them forever. So they got to grab their own bootstraps.
Yeah, I wonder if you know, given like what everybody's talking about with Clarence Thomas, he apparently grew up very poor child and picked himself up by his bootstraps, and you know, became now a Supreme Court nominee. But he doesn't seem to have a lot of sympathy for others who, you know, face the same sort of life.
Well, maybe he had to do it too much the hard way. Maybe he never got a break. Yeah. You know, he figures he even though where he is, maybe he's a little bitter about it. Maybe he figures he had to break his ass, and so you got to break your ass. I don't. I've had a real soft life. Considered the hard edge that it started. I've been an artist my whole life, and I've been so gifted, you might say, that I was able to do all this stuff. I just, fuck, man. I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, maybe he just wasn't a bitter guy. I've seen guys like that, too. It's like, you know, the old fathers that worked their ass off in the steel mill their whole life. My father did, but he got tired of doing it at about 40 and became a drunk and killed himself, you know, you might say. But the guys that did it and stayed through and raised their kids, fucking hard on their kids a lot of times. Look what I had to do. You know, the old I walked 5 miles in a snow routine, so you're going to walk at least 4. You know? I don't believe in that.
Tell me about the show. What are people going to see? And
hardest rock and roll show they've ever seen in their goddamn life. With all this fire and that's it. This is just me that has all these problems that I'm going to go out on stage and just, you know, let them all out from, you know. And I don't mean laying trips. I never do that on stage. I would never preach anything unless something really bugged me at the moment. I don't take my problems out there. I get rid of my problems out there. They're going to see a long show. We haven't played in so long. We've got so many records now. You know, we're going all the way back to the first Van Halen records, some of the stuff. We're going some of my solo stuff. We all still do our solo sections in the show, and which is really special. And,
are you doing Red?
Oh, fuck, I don't know. I got so many... I make my own clothing now, you know, Red Rocker clothing, and it's kind of sports leisure clothing is what I've invented a line of clothes that I can do anything in. I can sleep in them. I can go to eat in them. I can go out on stage in them. You know, it's like I don't have to ever change my clothes now for any event. Just saves so much time and so much decision. You know, you look in your closet and you're going, oh, gee, Gianni Versace, you know, Yamamoto, what am I going to wear today, you know? I go in there and go, I'm the Red Rocker. Bang! You know? I'm in. I'm solid. Now the show's incredible. We haven't worked out a show per se. The band, the show happens. We don't work it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just work out the songs. But the lights and everything. There's a lot of new techniques and a lot of new things. We have these new spotlights from the back of the stage that have been used maybe twice, and they've only been on big outdoor shows. The Stones used them. They're so powerful that people are going to get a good look at us. And we're gonna walk around with this scorched hair on the back of our heads, but it's pretty intense. You know, Van Halen's never skimpy.
How long will he be on stage? Do you know?
Between 2 and 3 hours.
Wow.
You know, I mean, that's the other thing. You never know. The songs might be twice as fast, but at rehearsal it's over 2 hours, and I'm not even talking in between songs. You know, and once I start getting long-winded, I'll say about anything to anybody. You know, and. Shit, I don't know. That could add another 45 minutes.
Are you taking an opening act out with you?
Yeah, Alice in Chains.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we won't do it by ourselves. You know, everyone's saying evening with. Bullshit. Nowadays, as good as we are, it's still, I think, it's not as good a value. I'm always for, hey, man, give the people as much as you can. There's a time limit, which really makes it difficult for us. We, you know, our management, everyone's saying, do an evening with, and it'll save us about, you know, $100,000 a night or whatever because of the overtime and, you know, after a certain, you go play too long, and then all of a sudden, you know, all the stage hands get, you know, paid a whole other day. And make a long story short, you know, it does cost a lot of money after a certain hour, and I don't believe in that, man. I say, too bad, you know.
Yeah, are you playing Everybody Wants Some?
No.
No, oh, damn. I mean, I think that should be the national anthem.
Oh, it is. I agree with it. There's some songs that aren't me, and I hate to give anything away. And as a matter of fact, just please don't print this.
Okay.
But we're playing Jump.
Oh.
And it's never been me, and I never would play Jump before because lyrically I didn't like it. But we put it in a different key because it was too low. You know, it's like I get up and everybody gets me down. When I'm singing, that's the way it is. You know,
yeah.
So I can't stand to sing that low. So we put it in a different key. We've reworked it. And it's great. And but Everybody Wants Them didn't make the cut. Well, with the band, we rehearse a lot of the tunes, and we find out which ones fit, which ones I feel good singing, which ones the band plays best, and Everybody Wants Them wasn't in there.
Whenever I hear that song, I think, damn, that should be the national anthem. Because,
it is a cool song, man, except for, all the talking in there,
No, yeah, you don't need that bullshit, but just...
Well, see, I can't go out there and do somebody else's rap. It's just I could sing somebody else's stuff. That's difficult enough sometimes because I don't believe in maybe what it is. But to sit there and do somebody else's rap is tough.
Okay.
That's a tough one.
Last question. Is music better or worse today than when you started? And I don't mean your music, I mean music in general.
In general, I think it's better.
Why?
Because I think there's better musicians and there's better production and all that stuff. Now, I'm not saying all music. The only element that I don't like as well is the fact that there's so much contrived music, that it's being rehashed so much, and so many people know what makes a hit. There's formula writing, what I call the LA songwriters that write for the bands that have the hits. I hate. It sucks. And most dance music that is just contrived, taking a beat and just fucking, to me, stinks, most of it. I can't stand that stuff because it's just so it reminds me of disco. It's like just this prefabricated shit that it's just too prefabricated, it's too contrived. But to where older music when I first started wasn't like that. There were the pop bands, but then there were so many, Deep Purple and Zeppelin and all these bands, Black Sabbath and, Montrose, these kind of bands that were not contrived bands, they just went out. But there's still a lot of that now. I mean, you still got Metallica and you still got Anthrax, and these Faith No More. You got a lot of cool bands out there right now. I think music's great. Not necessarily pop radio or MTV, but music is great.
Anything else you want people to know?
Yeah, that this is the baddest motherfucking band in the goddamn world, but they already know it. But for those that don't, it is, man. It is.
Well, it was fun to talk to you, and I'm looking forward to seeing your show.
Mark, come on backstage, man.
Okay, thanks, man.
All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Tapes Archive podcast. Please remember you can always find more information about the show and the individual episodes at our website, thetapesarchive.com. Until next time, the vault is closed.